Hello to everyone, this is Vishal and hope all are doing good and my best wishes with you always. And today, as we are going on with the sessions of the Rxjava and we did the sequential approaches of combination of two methods together. So the second part of the day, that is how we can use multiple combinations or multiple methods together, be the concurrent process. Last time so we did the work with the sequential process, and that was your uh, if you have a two different kind of methods and if you want to concat them and we get the values be in a sequential manner, so that's we are called sequential combination. And today we have a concurrent combination. That means as it emit the data, we just push it or show it on your observer. That's the way we are using the same methods today also, that is as we did on get autobiography and get programming books. So that's both the methods we are working with the same way or for the merge. So if I recall the things, so we can say that if we need to get two sets of asynchronous data streams that are independent of each other, and instead of waiting the previous stream to complete before requesting the next stream, we can call both the at the same time and subscribe it to the combined streams. So that's be your merge, zip, join, combine latest, and a lot of methods to be under that process. But today we discuss only merge and zip. Rest of the discussion will be on my next tutorial. So today we discuss about the merge. So generally what happens that if you have two methods and if you want to combine with the asynchronous call, just like your web servers, from your web servers you want two different lists in a single recycler view sometimes, or if you want to call both the method, sometimes we have to complete that task different methods. So the Rxjava is a very powerful approach to combine that. But in a sequential behavior, what happened first, it first call the first observable, then it call the second one. But in this merge approach or in your zip approaches, we just call with the concurrent approaches. As it get the data from any other method, it just show to you as in the concurrent approaches. So this operator combines multiple uh, observables into one of by merging their emissions and merge multiples. An observable into a single observable, but it not maintain the sequential execution. So that means it emit data from both the observables simultaneously. As soon as the data become available, it emit. So that's the way. And in a short line, we can say that a merge also merges multiple observable into a single observable, but it won't maintain the sequential execution. So you have a method approach, observable dot merge observable 1 and 2. So that's the way you can work with your merge. So first we discuss it practically, then we go with the zip. The zip is also be the same, but we need a function calling with this. So what is that function calling and how we can do? So that's we will discuss it. So let us start this merge be as on your practical session. So we can see that how it emit the data with the same old approach and same methods. Okay, so let us start in Android Studio. Here you've seen that on the last time what we did, we just concat the things be here of a two function, but now I'm just first making a small string values be here and give the name of this is observable 1, and that's be your observable dot just, and I want to push some items with here just like item 1 and item 2. So first we started from using this, and then we'll do from the methods, last methods as we did. Okay, so here we have a string, and so these watching first watch the combinational observables on my first tutorial, so you can learn that from that how we can do this concatenation. and now today we have a merging. So here I'm using item 3, item 4. So for this, just very simple, you can say that observable dot merge. This is your observable 1 comma observable 2 dot, that's your observe on, that is Android, schedulers dot main thread, and that's your dot subscribe on, this is your schedulers dot io, depends on which kind of scheduler you want, as I discussed on my previous tutorials. And this is your new observer. So here it just behave like a concatenation type, because of we have a local data and also a very small strings I am using, but it get the things as it show to you. But I will show the discrimination using the methods to you. So first see this uh, using very simple approach. Okay, so just run this. So here we have observable 1 and we have some items. Under that we have observable 2, we have some items, and now we can merge both the items and observe them and your subscribe. So it's very easy and we can implement it, but in many uh, practical approach this one is uses whenever you want to show. So you can see that it's BR 1 2 3 4, but when I'm using the methods and method calling be here, just like hide this part, and we have a two methods be uh, observable dot merge, and we have a method get orthography book names and get programming books. So if you remember that what we have done on the last time, these be the two methods we have in which we have a model approach with here we have a get autobiography books, and the second one is your get programming books. So first you have to learn my previous tutorial. If you watching this directly, on that I describe each and everything, how these methods be implement and how we can use that. So here I'm using the same as we did for concatenation, I'm doing for merge approach. Okay, so here the same thing I'm copy pasting here, that's be your subscribe observe on, but little bit subscribe be change. So okay, so here I'm using a simple subscribe, and that subscribe be your new observer. So here your observer be in a kind of book type, and that book be your, here we can see that a book values be book name, and that is your book dot get book type, because of here as we have a model of the book. Generally we are doing as in a business logics. Okay, so we have a model and you just implement it, and I will show you in my clean architecture how this Rxjava be work with, or these kind of observable things be working with your layers. So on my next tutorial will describe to you. So here you can see that what's a book name be here. So you can see here we have a Vivekananda, Java, C++, Patel. So as it is not in a sequence, because of Vivekanand and Patel be your get autobiography books and get programming books Java, C++. So there is no sequence. While when you working with the concatenation, there is a sequence like Java, C++, Vivekananda and Patel. But here the next time if we go for the approach, I am clearing this, and that be your Vivekanand, Patel, Java, C++. So it depends on the things how it can be react. Once it got it, it just show to you. So here you can see that Java, C++, Vivekanand, Patel. So that's your concurrent. That means as you get it just show to you, there is no any sequence. But whenever you work with a sequence, and if you want to need a sequence, you do the concatenation, and if you do not want any sequence, you just emit the data, whatever be the data, so you using the merge. Okay, so that's our difference between these two. The same thing I'm using for the zip. So what the zip doing, let's see. Zip say the operator combines the emission of multiple observables together via specified function. Emit single items for each combination based on the result of the function. So if you want to show your data be like, that means item 1 with item 3 and item 2 with the item 4. That means in a that kind of sequence. That means first you emit these two and then you emit these two. So that's we work with the zip. So we'll see it what's be the value. So this is your observable dot zip, and this is your observable 1 and comma observable 2 dot uh, just copy paste the things be here. So here I'm not using any function, but if you want to work with the function, then we'll describe you how it works. So here it show that there's issues with that. So what to do? You can do that comma new bit function, and that function behavior be like, you just say that what's the issue with that, that's implement the method. So you can implement the methods, and that method be, that means which kind of things you want to apply. So I want to be a string strval, and that string is your s plus. So you can see that a parallel approach of doing this. So this is your s1 plus s2, and I want to return that string val. Okay, and now we have to subscribe the same thing be here, new observer, that be your object kind. So that means alt enter the values, because of here let's see what happened, it's not showing any dispose. Okay, so that means it want also to implement the values. Okay, so what you do, you just put the values be here, and on the next value you just copy paste these things be here on your on next, and this is your object dot to string. So this is your object. So here what we do, just simply zip the values, but we need a function, a kind of by function, which kind of approach you want, either that's an integer or object, or which kind of approaches you want to throw that the values, or also with the exception. So that's the strategy of doing the zip. So what's the result of that zip, we'll see. Run that. So that's very interesting part working with the Rxjava, and very easy if you doing work with this. And lot of things we very mix. Uh, that means just like you retrofit calling with the Rxjava room, all are very easy approach with the new architectures. So here you can see that item 1 with item 3 and item 2 with item 4, that's the combinations if you want to work with this. That is a parallel working with your, if you have a recycler view and you want to show two methods together within a parallel approach, just like from first you getting the names and the other you getting the rates. So you want to show that the parallel rates with the item names. So that's very easy and good approach. So that's your zip. And the next is, okay, the same thing I will show to you with the function as we have a two object values. So observable dot zip. Here we have a get autobiography book, that is your get programming books, and that's your comma new function we have, and you have to let issues with that. Okay, implement the methods. Okay, so here the method be like uh, we have get programming and get autobiography, and by function behavior, that is your book and object. So you have to return that. So this is depends on which kind of object you want generally. So here I'm saying that this is your book B, or that's your book plus book 2, and so you have returned that values be here. So the same thing you want with the observe on and Android schedulers dot main thread and dot subscribe on schedulers dot io and dot subscribe, and the values be your new observer, that is your object, and again you want the method, implement the methods, and copy paste it on the next. So that's be the result for the books also. The same thing you have to work for whatever be your requirement. So that's be your model values, and that before you have worked with the string values. So that's your concurrent processes you have to work. So there is a two kind of things as we learned, that is the method, and but here you can show that there is not a good book values be here. So I'm using the book kind of object. So what we have to return here, the one thing, you can see that we are string book 1 values be your book dot get book name, and book name 1 and book name 2, and this is your book 2 get book name. Okay, and here you have to concat the things be your book name 1 and their book name 2. You can do directly, but I'm showing to you just for your confirmation that how we can use that in a basic way. So that's the way with the model. If you want to show something, or you can directly, if you want to work, you can later on this change this object. It depends. You have to typecast this as in a book. So it depends which kind of things you work. So you can see that Vivekananda with Java and Patel with C++. So there are two kind of books we have, Vivekananda Patel and Java C++. So this is your Vivekananda and Patel and Java C++. So the first two things we Vivekananda with Java and Patel with C++. and it can emit depend. Okay, so that's be the way you can do the zip, and also you have worked with your um, simple merge. And I already described to you in my previous examples how we can use these things with your at retrofit callings also with your async task behavior. So a lot of things we have to learn in Rxjava in my coming sessions, and on the next sessions I will show you the join also, and the soon I will upload the tutorial of the clean architecture with retrofit callings and how the Rxjava be doing the work with that. So thank you so much for your love, and we'll back soon. Thank you.